I just want to make sure you're okay.
Hi, I'm Betty Banjack, and this is Men Who Cook. It's a little switch from being in our downtown kitchen. We're here at the Montgomery County Norristown Public Library today, and we have 6 gentlemen who are going to show us the very favorites of theirs in their kitchen. Right now I have next to me Tom Mitchell. Tom's one of my favorite members of my family. And he's going to make his favorite dish, which is?
It's actually a Cheetah's Seafood Newburg. I call it Cheetah's Newburg because I use artificial sea legs and packaged like this. And I also use some canned soup, but I whipped together enough for about to make a meal for about 30, 35 people in less than an hour this morning. So that's why it's kind of like, it's quick, it's easy, but it is a wow dish. You can serve this to your relatives or friends coming over and they'll go, wow.
It's a company dish. It's having company and
correct.
Things like that. So get started.
I'm allowed to go?
Go.
Okay, all right.
So
I have to tell you, I've taped on Betty's show before, but I've never taped before a live audience of not nearly this many people, so it's a little scary, and thanks, guys, for letting me go first. Okay, I've changed a couple little things to make it a little bit more cholesterol conscious, but I can't stay away from the butter. I just can't help myself. So we're going to start out by taking some butter. Normally, if I'm making a big batch, I'll do a whole stick. In this case, I'm just going to do a half of a stick.
You and Julia Childs
and
and butter.
because we are cooking at the library, and we're not exactly in Betty's cozy little kitchen. I cooked in Betty's cozy little kitchen when it was about 150 up there one day. If you saw that on TV, you know it was a rough night. Anyway, what we're doing is just basically getting some butter melted, and we're going to cook some onions that we've previously chopped, just till the point that they're translucent. Normally I do this stovetop in a pot.
Big pot.
A big
it's
pot.
A really big pot.
You have to understand, as Betty knows well, Betty was, just beside being my cousin, she's also best friends with my sister. Actually, she's my cousin through my wife. But she good friends with my sister, and I come from a family of 9, so when my mom cooked, she cooked. And they're all about my size, I might add, huh, Bet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cultural shock to me. When the first time I went to their place for dinner, I'm an only child. 9 people attacked the table. No, 11, the mother and the father, too.
Right. My dad, I think the thing that always blew people's mind is that we had guests. My dad used to always, yes, wait, take one up there. Betty's going to open a can. She can assist me here if you won't mind, Betty. But we used to, my dad, when there's a guest in the house the first time, even when my wife came over for the first time at Thanksgiving, used to end grace by saying, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the one who eats the fastest gets the most. Now, I add seafood chunks here, and I have to tell you that I do add some whole, but for flavor, I usually rip them apart and just smash them because you get some small, stringy type material, and it also and let some juices out of them. I actually buy these in 5-pound bulk. This is just a little 2.5 pounder, so this is not nearly what I'm used to. And as I said, you can put this together in less than an hour, and I mean a huge quantity of this. Not a problem at all.
Tom cooks a batch of this every year for the St. Anne's Parish Cook-Off.
Yeah, that's correct.
In Phoenixville, and I've attended the last couple of years, and I want to tell you, it's a big container, and it goes in a matter of minutes.
And I'm not a contestant in that. I actually run the cook-off at St. Anne's Parish, and if you ever wanted to do a fundraiser that's fun for everybody, what we do is I actually invite people in the parish to volunteer to cook. And what they do is they sign up to cook under several different categories, including obviously entrees, soups, hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, salads, desserts. There were 43 desserts last year. I love that. And what happens is in about 38 entrees, and people actually come, and some people, the cooks get in for free, but they don't get the vote. And those who come to eat have to pay $10 to get in. And hence it's a moneymaker because...
Keep working.
And I am working, dear. It's a moneymaker because I'm actually selling the product that they've made. But it's very successful. And all we're going to do is just, like I said, break this into chunks.
One of the fun things about Tom's family of 9, you notice Tommy's not we call him Tommy because we've known him since he was, little. They're not at loss for words. Any of them. There's 9 of them that out-talk each other, right?
That's correct. Have to get a word in edgewise. And now we have that in, and then we're going to take some Bay seasoning. It's always good. Great flavor as well as color. And then just a touch of salt.
Just a touch?
Yeah, a touch.
And it's salty.
What's that? Oh, I know.
Isn't the sea lake salty?
No, amazingly enough, it's not really that salty at all. And then I need to go. Now, Betty, see, I get this from Betty. I use some basil garlic vinegar, all right, that Betty puts together for me. I also love her vanilla. I look forward to Christmas and my birthday, so I get this stuff. You can use wine if you like. And sure, Jeff, got a dry hand?
I might.
Might as well put you to work. Since mine's all. Yeah, thank you. And we'll just use a little of this to add some flavor.
I like to make vinegar. Ooh. I'm very fond of blending vinegars and cordials. And the cordials, I use vodka. They say it's cheating some people, but it's really hard to distill your own alcohol without getting in trouble with the government, I guess. So I use vodka, and I use a lot of fresh fruits and stuff, and it's pretty popular stuff. Anything else?
From here, you can use half and half. I guess I do it. You can use half and half, which is what I normally use. Cutting this back by using some milk, adding this to it. And actually, you can serve this over pasta or rice. That was the intent, and I just started to play around with this. And then, of course, my family found out that they liked this so much they figured, they could live without the pasta or rice. And then I use Bookbinder's lobster bisque. You can use shrimp bisque, crab bisque. I happen to like the lobster bisque a lot. And put that in here. Of course, we're cooking a frying pan, so we're cooking fast. Mix it together.
This is a small batch, considering what
wow, this is like,
we usually make.
Yeah, I did 2 pots like this size earlier today, and I have them all in a big container.
What else do you have?
And then we're going to go with some peas here when I get this stirred in. Peas give it a great flavor, make it a great one-dish meal, so you're all in one pan.
I never really learned this recipe that well, because why should I? I just go whenever he makes it. I show up at that occasion.
And of course, when Betty's mom showed up here today, she said with Harry and Betty, and she says, "What are you making, Thomas?" It's seafood Newberry. And she's like, give me the thumbs up. She's a big fan. Go ahead, Betty. Now,
it's pretty.
Yes, has some nice color. And I've
like
made
you don't-
plenty of this.
Looks like it doesn't have to be thickened.
No, I would thicken that a little bit more, only because if I was going to serve this over noodles today or over rice, I would leave it just the way it is. Unfortunately, I didn't bring the noodles or rice because I figured everybody would be like my family and will want to taste it in its natural state, which is a little bit thicker. So I
What is
just
that,
take
cornstarch or
a little bit of
flour?
cornstarch. You can use flour if you want. Just need a little thickening agent. We're just boiling away there, nice bet.
Mix it in.
Make sure we'll look at that. Stir it a little bit. Fairly
Okay,
simple recipe, and basically that's it, folks. You're just going to thicken this up. You can serve this over. Do you have that mixed powder ready? They have a powder ready. I can just show them what we look like completed.
Listen, while you're cooking this, we're going to move down to
Sure,
Jeff.
okay.
Okay? But I want to tell you, the recipes, all of these recipes that we have today, a few extra recipes from like Michael Grant, the boxing champion. Michael, we try to make arrangements for him to be here today, but his schedule won't allow him to be here. Michael's already cooked on my show, and so we will have, his dish has been made too. He didn't make it, I made it. What did he make? Sweet potato casserole. I almost forgot what he made. And so we're going to have that along with, there's a favorite mustard recipe of mine. And also the vanilla, as Tom mentioned. There's a vanilla recipe in here. The last sheet is, you can put your notes in there, whatever you want to do. So this will be available. I mean, you all have it here, but it'll be available if you send to where you usually send for things, Downtown Kitchen, Post Office Box 1660, Norristown, Pennsylvania 19404. And I asked that not to send an envelope or anything this time, but just to send $1 to cover the postage. So this book is available and has a lot of wonderful recipes. Now we're going to go on to Jeff. Jeff Zolator is a good friend of mine for a long time. And you know why I like Jeff so much? He's so much taller than I am. So, is it, yeah, it's on.
It's on, okay.
So,
well, Betty, what I'm going to be cooking today is chili sundae.
Okay.
It's a very fun dish, fun to make, fun to eat, fun to look at. We hope you'll see that soon. And yeah, these little sundae glasses. So I'm going to start by browning some ground beef. And there we go.
do we have some ground beef already ground?
You know, we do, as a matter of fact. If you can put that in for 2 minutes medium high, I think that'll do it. I have to tell you, Betty, the way I cook, it's, you know how hard it was to get me to write down a recipe.
Yeah.
And
It was someone harder than you.
It was?
I won't mention names or numbers.
Well, maybe that person will fess up to it. But you know, writing down recipes for me, I love to cook. I really love to cook. But writing down recipes is sometimes very difficult. Particularly so with the seasonings. And I have to tell you that the recipe that is in the book includes 1 small can of tomato paste. But what I was trying to do with this was I was trying to prepare this in a way that reflects some people's desires for the Atkins diet or low carbohydrate diets of some sort. And tomatoes are actually quite high in carbohydrates. And besides that, I tested this recipe several times with some impartial observers, impartial tasters, and they preferred it without the tomato paste. So for this, Betty, for this batch, I left out the tomato paste, as I was telling you earlier. Getting down to the spices, I wanted to come up with spices that kind of reflect the standard that I usually use when I make this. So I was able to mix the spices ahead of time, and this is what I put into this spice mix.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, good.
We have this made.
Yeah.
We'll take this back and finish it on the back.
Oh, good.
And you can
Okay.
continue with
All right,
that.
good.
Okay? You
Yeah.
want this? You need this?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I do. Yeah, thank you. Okay, the spices that will go into that are 3 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon black pepper, 1 teaspoon celery salt, and 1/2 teaspoon cayenne pepper. If you don't like it, don't. If you don't like it that hot, you know what, you can leave out. But it's actually quite good. And the fact that it's made with a pound of ground beef, I think kind of cuts the pepper a little bit. But it's chili. I mean, it's supposed to,
Well,
it's supposed to
chili,
fight
that's
you
right.
back.
I don't eat chili
Oh,
because
okay.
everyone knows that watches me all the time that I can't eat chili. I can't eat the hot.
I'm sorry, I should. But, no, and you can cut back the pepper. I mean, you don't have to have a lot of pepper. Okay. So I'm just heating this up here.
Okay, let's start with put the next ingredient in.
Okay. Well, actually, from here, we just assembled a sundae.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for.
Now, this is nice and hot here. This is the batch I made yesterday, and we're going to start assembling the chili sundae. Let's see. Okay.
Ice cream.
Okay, a little bit.
Did you have cream cheese?
Sour cream.
Sour cream.
did.
Oh. Why don't you get the sour
Good,
cream and I'll
thanks.
take the rest of this.
Okay. Okay, start out with a little sour cream, little ground beef, little cheddar cheese, color, a few onions. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. A little bit of sour cream. Oh yeah.
Now you said this diet was part of the Atkins diet.
Right.
which you're-
Very low carbohydrates. I mean, look at all the ingredients. Little or no carbohydrates in all this.
And we're not showing it as being prepared today, but Jeff did bring along a strawberry
Yes,
cheesecake.
a crustless strawberry cheesecake.
So it means it's all the center of the...
That's right. That's
so you
right.
get to
Very,
sample
very
that
good.
as well.
Very, very good. You're going to enjoy it. Again, a little bit of this.
Okay, so and then finish. You're gonna finish it up with which one?
Right. I'm still assembling a little bit here. A little bit more. Go. Messy here. Okay.
Got to put some more sour cream on top.
Oh,
Like
believe me, I will.
that's
Cheese.
the best part.
Hold on. Oh, we're not done yet. We're not done.
Ah, that's very pretty.
Dollop. Couple dollops.
Olive.
Olive, right. Right. Black olive. There you go.
There we are.
Very easy. Chili sundae.
Now see, I personally, I would make this and I would, the chili meat, I would, without the spices, and then I could enjoy it too.
And then you can enjoy it too, right.
So it's whatever you like. It's whatever you want to put into it.
Quick and easy.
Yeah, if you don't like, if you can't eat cheese, if you don't like olives, whatever you want, but it makes for a very attractive dish. And so we'll have that to try later on.
Okay. I'm going to assemble another one.
Assemble another
Okay.
one, and in fact, if you get a plate somewhere, you can put it out like on a
Good.
bigger plate.
Okay, good. Okay.
And disconnect that before you walk. Well, here I am with Bill Murray, and Bill is the publisher of the Times Herald. Notice Times Herald. See.
Betty was kind enough to lend me her winning apron.
That was an apron that I had gotten a few years back. I don't get aprons anymore. They don't let me enter. They said I became professional. I can't enter their contest, so I don't. But I met Bill just a few months ago. In fact, I think it was during the Christmas season, the concert at the
That's right.
Cultural Center. But we had a nice talk, and when I was putting this together, I thought, I actually saw you in the paper. You were reading Dr. Seuss or something.
That's right, that's right.
And I said, if he reads Dr. Seuss, he must cook. You know, I was afraid he was going to come with green eggs and ham.
That's right, right.
So he has a wonderful dish. So I'm going to let him start, and you just
Okay.
jump in here, and I'll tell you.
What I'm going to make today is linguine pescatori. And first of all, thank you for having me. And oddly enough, I was reading Dr. Seuss. My mother was a librarian, so it's
Oh.
perfect setting. So I can't mess this up. And what linguine pescatori is the fish is with marinara. I'm using red sauce. Many people use white sauce. and I'm going to have it over angel hair pasta. We pre-made the pasta already, and I need to heat up a little bit of virgin olive oil. So let's see what happens here. Just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. See if I don't have it too hot already. No, it looks good.
I hate it smells so good. And we're only just about halfway through.
Let's see if we can heat that up. Make sure the olive oil is nice and hot. To that, we're going to add 3 cloves of garlic, freshly chopped garlic that you can get in your local grocer. And it looks like it is plenty hot.
Bubbling.
Yes, it does. It's a good sign, so we're going to add that in there. We don't want to overheat this because we don't want the garlic to burn.
Bill tells me his wife Sue is an excellent cook.
That's the irony of this. My wife is the cook in our house, and when Betty called me up to come on the show, I said, "You must be mistaken. You have the wrong person."
It's okay.
Yeah, it's good and hot.
It's too hot.
Yeah, getting too high there. See what we can get away with there.
It's
Okay.
very difficult in working under these circumstances. This is all sort of set up just for today. This isn't anyone's kitchen, anyone's bad kitchen even, you know. We're
Set some shrimp out here. To this, we're going to add some shrimp, mussels, and clams. And the first thing we're going to do is just saute the shrimp a little bit. And you'll see here, I probably have enough to feed about 6 people, so the other people are going to be in trouble today. But
They'll just sample.
we'll lay
This
that
isn't
in there.
dinner. No one's to eat dinner from each of these. This is to sample.
We'll put our shrimp in here.
He has great purple shrimp. I've never seen shrimp this color.
These are tiger shrimp, I believe is what they're called. They're about
like
medium.
Purple.
So we're just going to put them in there for 1 second. And we're also going to throw a little butter in here just to give our mussels and clams some flavor. They seem to suck up the butter. That looks like a little too much, so we'll cut that in half. Drop a little bit of butter in here. And we're going to saute these shrimp just lightly to get them started. Looks good so far. It's early on, but take that out of there.
I had
The nice thing about this meal is it's rather quick. You can make it very quickly, depending on whether you buy the shrimp deveined or not. So I elected to get the shrimp previously deveined, and that makes it much easier and much faster. So now I'll turn the heat up a little bit more. Now to this, I'm going to add red marinara sauce that we had made earlier. And also it has diced tomatoes in it, and so we're going to throw that in here right now. Now that the shrimp has started to cook a little bit, that takes a little bit longer than some of the other things. We'll stir that around. Could have gone a little too heavy on the oil there, but give that a good
Oh, we have
go.
the other seafood to add, so.
Right. Let's see if we can heat that up now.
Are you going to put the...
Yeah, we're going to put them in here
Right
right
in
now.
there?
First thing to tell you about the mussels, if you have mussels that open up and you want to see if your mussels are good, because these have traveled, these mussels are traveling mussels today, you just hit them if they shut. That tells you that your mussels are still alive and they're still good and they're in good shape.
Well,
So we're
why
going
don't
to
we-
set them in here.
Okay, why don't we do this while the mussels and the clams and all are steaming. We're going to move on and we'll check back with him after we
Few
have a
minutes.
few
Should be in
things that
good
we would
shape.
like to tell you about the library.
My name is Belita, and I'm the leader on bus trips to places of cultural and historic interest. How would you like to go to New York to see a Broadway show? Perhaps you would prefer to visit some homes of the rich and famous, like Kykuit, the Rockefeller Estate in New York, or Hillwood, the Post Mansion in Washington, D.C. Maybe you'd like to go to an art show featuring works by Vincent van Gogh, and everybody will want to see that dazzling display of 900 jeweled objects created by Fabergé. All trips are sponsored by Friends of the Library, and all profits are donated to the library for children's programs and the purchase of books. For trip information, phone 610-279-4602. See you on the bus.
Okay, here we are back in the kitchen with Bill Murray, and Bill's making his wonderful seafood dish. So
We've pre-made some pasta here earlier. We're going to dump that out. Take a little time here. It's quite a bit here.
it is.
But it's a big crowd. So, and right about now, our clams should have opened up and our mussels should open up. So we should be in pretty good shape, and they have.
Oh, it
Our
looks
shrimp
wonderful.
should be all through also. So,
You can see it or smell it. It's wonderful. In fact, if you have the tongs,
sure.
maybe we can show them. Look at this. It smells wonderful. And we have clams in here, and we have shrimp, and oh, we're going to do a number on that.
Can't miss with this meal.
No. Well, listen, thank you, and we'll be back.
Thank
and
you, Betty.
We'll be talking, and now I have here my good friend John Victor.
Hi, how are you?
And John's my state representative from Norristown. So, and he's,
Before you go on your long spiel,
I don't have a list.
well, I just want to tell you that I've seen 3 different styles of cooking here today. Tom, I like the way he does his cooking. You know, I've been taught if it's a tablespoon, you take it and you level it. Well, Tom's over there going, well, you take a touch of this and you throw this in there and you stir that and you put another batch in. And Bill didn't do a bad job of that either. But as I say, my mother used to cook that way. But my wife taught me to always take the measuring and you got to level it off and not more, no less. So away we go.
Well, you know what happened with Michael Grant? I had to teach Michael Grant how to cook. Like the point that he cooked well, but he didn't have to measure the vanilla, and he didn't have to do this. Just pour it in. Like he said, how will I know when it's enough? I said, I'll tell you. I mean, it was so. So
Very
John
true.
has one of his favorite dishes that I understand he eats quite often when he comes home late.
Well, this is true. I'm going to do, the recipe says a crab spread. It's really, in my opinion, a crab dip.
Oh, okay.
My wife has bridge club every so often at the house. And every time I come home, there's one dish that's always empty. And I never got a chance to really sample it. So then I just said to her, well, dear, what is it? She told me what it is. So I decided to learn how to make it, and now I can get it anytime I want.
Oh, okay.
So that's how this whole thing came about.
Okay, well, you want to get started?
Sure. We start, it's crab spread, and that's really the good old Philadelphia cream cheese. And just so you know, 1/3 less fat. We do use that. The flavor is
That's important.
just as good, just as good. You put that in a little bowl to start out with, and it should be soft.
Leave it out of the refrigerator for a while.
That's true. And then the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of milk. I usually use 1 because that
It's
seems,
your recipe.
this is true, and that seems to be enough. Now watch how level that is, see?
Yeah.
And I'm not even shaking. That's the way I was taught. And we just mix that around a little bit and soak up the milk and get it all mixed in. I'm going to let you be the first one to try this because I know you're going to absolutely love it.
What else do we have?
And the next thing we're going to have is 2 teaspoons full of onion. Now it's got to be 2. Now,
Can I
see-
put them in for
Oh,
you?
well, see, that's not measured, see, but I'm going to do it.
That's 2 teaspoons.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, my
I
wife's
could tell, I
like,
could
you could tell, huh?
I know.
Obviously, we're running short on time, and she wants to speed this up a little bit. I can see that, too. Okay, then after that, we have 1/2 teaspoon of horseradish.
Well, that's mild.
Well, you know, you don't, watch how level it is.
How it's
Okay.
level, I can tell.
Good. You can, all right. And we follow that with salt. Where is the salt? There it is, right here.
You're going to measure the salt in the shaker?
Absolutely. Watch. See how easy that is?
Yeah.
Level enough? Good. That's good. And then we just mix it all around for a little bit. And no, I didn't. I didn't forget the crab. Don't just hang on. Just hang on. Now we'll take the crab. Put it in.
Oh. Did you measure this crab? Or?
This crab comes right out of a can. And it's called Snow White crab.
7.5 ounces.
7.5 ounces, but doesn't come in 7.5 ounces, so you get what you buy and just put it in. And you do that just like that. And now we do the final stir.
his new cayenne pepper, so I will like it.
You gotta cook it first now, Betty. Just relax. Just relax.
Is this called cooking?
Sure. You gotta go in the microwave, and then it goes in the microwave. You gotta cook.
Oh. That's right, it does go in the microwave, but you can't put a metal bowl in the microwave.
No, but it goes in this little dish right here.
Well, you're really prepared, John.
Oh, absolutely. Now, what do you see this?
And they told me you couldn't cook. You know your
No.
office staff was...
Don't believe everything my office staff tells you. Now, see, great old spatula.
Yeah.
Take that around like that. Spread that in there like that. Alice Davenport just loves this. Believe
does
me,
she?
she does. Yeah, no question about it.
Yes, I would really like to mention, if I haven't, the funding for today's program of the Betty Myers Memorial Fund is with the Friends of the Montgomery District Library, and they're their guests today, and we're very happy to be here. And it looks like that part's done. You have to cook it. I forgot. You got to cook it.
Now it goes into the microwave, and as the recipe
Okay.
says, microwave 3 minutes is 70%, then 2 minutes is full strength.
Okay.
So we have a
Well,
microwave over here. And
someone like to microwave this for? And it's in a book. The recipe's in the book. I'm going to go. Stay right here, John.
I will.
I'm going to.
With that one?
I'm here with my good friend Fred,
Hi, Betty. Thanks for having me.
and Fred's not so sure about any of this. You know, I talked him into it. He thought he was filming out of my kitchen, so that was a whole different story. He has two daughters, Aubrey and Shauna, and they were on my show one day, and they were out of the kitchen. He thought that's what he was going to do. Then he found out he was going to be here in front of all these people. He was not sure what he was going to do.
Right.
So Fred, this is called Fred's favorite lunch. He likes to make it on a Sunday. And you want to get started and tell us, he's
Sure.
been cooking the sausage.
I'm just taking link sausage, cooking it, frying it up, and it's a real quick lunch. All you do is first you fry it up. When it's about 3/4 fried, I'll add peppers and onions, and then I'll let them cook. And when it's done, I'll just take a tortilla shell and wrap it in the tortilla shell. And usually 2 of them is a nice lunch amount to have, and I enjoy them each Sunday.
You
Real
put
simple.
one in each tortilla?
About 1.5 usually fills it, and some you can put more in. And,
Okay.
sure.
Well, you know, what we'll do, you're waiting for this to
Yeah,
continue
we're waiting
cooking.
for it to cook.
Okay. And John, has your stuff been zapped?
It's being zapped, but it's not finished yet.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go over to Tony Manzo. Tony, let me fix your mic.
Oh, okay.
There's something in the room. That's not your mic. I'll hold this. Tony is my neighbor and my good friend, and Tony is the bread maker in the household, the house. And some wonderful smells come out of that kitchen. Tony was on one of my regular shows one time in a half hour. We almost didn't have enough time to get through all the breads. He had 13 breads at that time. When we talked about doing this show, after he didn't even want to do it at first, but then he decided he would do it as a favor to me, I told him he couldn't and he didn't have to do 13 breads, because we'd be here all afternoon, and the tape doesn't run that long, to be honest. So he decided on making a few of his favorites, which you will have a chance to sample and to taste afterwards. Tony also made a very special treat. On the back table, I'm going to let him say, because he laughs at me and says I say it wrong all the time. What's on the back table?
Biscotti.
The Italian, the cookie that's a dunking cookie, really. It's hard, and we have coffee and we have drinks so you can dunk your cookie, and so it's nice and moist to eat. So Tony, you want to get started?
All right, I'm going to start with the focaccia, which is a dough that's made very specially. It has the Kalamata of olives and a whole, 2 whole lemon rind grated up in the dough while you're making it. And the same recipe is done with the French. The French make a pizza-like kind of thing. It's called a fogassier. And it looks like this, and they get very decorative with them. They bring them to their picnics because they don't like things that spoil it. And they just crack it open with a bottle of wine and their fruits and but they have all the Kalamata olives inside of it. It has all the fresh herbs on it, as you can see, and they stay forever. These, as you know, the focaccia is like a little pizza, and it has all the roasted peppers, which I've done the night before. I've even frozen these and then take them out in the morning, also to put them in the oven and start them to bring them here. I do the unusual things, as you know, with the starters. These are made from starters. This is the San Francisco sourdough bread. It takes about 2 days to make these, because you start with the starter, a good yogurt that has about 5 different cultures in it.
The recipe's in the book.
Good.
The booklet. All for most of this.
And they're so great because when you open them up, they're just a regular sourdough bread. If you want them even more sour, you just let the starter stay out at a 90-degree temperature a little longer, and it just gets stronger. The one nice thing I want to tell you is all of these are baked on a tile. Remember we mentioned this, Betty, about the tile? These tiles get a little war damage. These are our battle scars from the oven. They're so wonderful to have because it's like baking in a big hearth in your own little oven. If you have an electric stove, if you have a gas stove, just put it at the bottom one, preheat the oven for about 450 degrees, get it nice and hot, and you must mist it. You must have a mister, because when your dough is rised, the last rise is in the oven. If it's hot enough, it will rise beautifully for you. If it's not moist, it will not rise. So this is very important.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know how you can make these real quick if you happen to get a pie, not a pie plate, a cookie dip plate, and if you have some old tiles, like the terracotta tiles, line that baking sheet with those terracotta tiles, and then you can have that. It's not quite as heavy as this. You can put it away to get it away a little bit. You know, there's two schools of thought with cooking. One, most people that I know leave everything, their kitchen utensils out to be used. And then there's people from my mother's school of cooking who thinks you have to put everything in the closet every time you're finished with it. So.
Well, Betty, one nice thing that the Home Depots, if you bring your tray with you, they'll cut the tiles to fit the tray for you.
Yeah.
And be sure to have them soaked before you put them in the hot oven, because it creates its own steam and it makes a nice crusty bread. The one last thing I wanted to show you, Betty, was
it's a little bread, huh?
This lovely thing. It's a black Russian bread with a German Swedish rye inside. And if you open it, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's a very fast dough. And that's the inside of it.
Oh, that's...
And you miss this, it gets a nice crust on it. It's a very beautiful bread, and it's a marvelous tasting one because it has apple cider in it. It has so many coffee, black coffee with it, rye and different kinds of rye enhancers. And you're welcome to sample it. See, I've done all my work beforehand.
I know. He was lucky. I didn't have to worry and find him a heating source. You know, I had to get everyone a heating source, and I thought, oh, I only need 5. You know, is the thing. Let me go back and you can take this.
Sure.
Okay, we're back. Is that it? Can I sample it now?
You may sample as many times as you'd like. If you say you don't like it...
Don't say I don't like it, right? Very good. Thank you. Well, you know, it's hard to talk with your mouth.
I know.
Though I'm known to do it a lot on the show. We're back to Fred.
Betty, we're ready to add the peppers and onions.
Wow.
Now, the sausage is 3/4 cooked at this point, so I'm just going to mix everything together.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Stir it around. Just let it cook for a few more minutes with the lid on. And I'll get my tortilla shells prepared and go from there.
Well, I'm sure everyone's going to really like eating these. Everything. It's also great. I can't thank you all enough, men who cook, or as the program says, the men. And you all know who the men were because we talked with them, but I'm not quite sure if our audience knows that we've had some help. There's Jason Rago from the restaurant school. Tom Mitchell, too. been working. And then I have Mary Ann Holloway, who is the production assistant. And on, he hates it, but I do it because I have to. My conscience tells me I have to recognize my cameraman and my director, Tom Ramsey. Right now, he's not happy with me. So we're going to clean up a little bit and get some of this stuff off the table. And we're going to push the tables up a little. And in a few moments, you're all welcome to come up and try whatever you like to eat. And we thank you for coming very much. And maybe we'll do it again. Someone would like to do a program, a woman who eats, you know? So we may do that. So I just want to say one thing, good cooking and good eating, and we'll see you real soon.
I'm Lori Tynan, the director of the Montgomery County Norristown Public Library, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about what are called District Library Center services. In 1961, the Pennsylvania legislature enacted the Library Code. In addition to providing for certain kinds of state financial support to libraries, this law set up a formal network for cooperation among libraries in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania public libraries are organized into 28 library districts. In each district, one library is designated by the State Library of Pennsylvania to be a district library center. A district library center provides services to the other public libraries in its district. It acts as a clearinghouse for interlibrary loan requests. It operates a system of delivering books, films, and other materials. It handles reference questions that are too complex for smaller public libraries to answer. It organizes training and continuing education for library workers. It helps libraries publicize their events and services. And it offers management advice to local library administrators on subjects ranging from complying with state regulations to writing grant proposals. A district library center also offers reference and lending service to citizens who live in the service areas of other libraries, but who may occasionally need to use a library with a larger collection or a more knowledgeable staff. In Montgomery County, the District Library Center that provides support to the 34 public libraries and 708,000 residents of the county is the Montgomery County Norristown Public Library. Its headquarters is located at the corner of Swede, Powell, and Elm Street in Norristown, about 5 blocks from the county courthouse. Any citizen who lives in the county may use the library free of charge. You can also ask your local public library to request information, books, and other services on your behalf. The District Library Center will deliver books and information to your home library for you to use locally. Remember, the Montgomery County Norristown Public Library is your district library center, helping all of the residents and the libraries in Montgomery County. If you have any questions or need some library help, call us anytime at area code 610-278-5100.
Okay, here we are back again all together with all the food, so I thought we'd do a quick little rundown. We have Tony and Tony's breads, and they're just wonderful. Look at this. Is this the one that's cut? Just look at that bread. It's wonderful. It's heavy. You could feed an army or something.
The Russian loaf.
Yeah. Then here we have Fred. Fred is finally, oh, smells good. I love sausage, so this is really a great dish, and it's very colorful. And he'll be wrapping those in the tortillas. So you have onions and peppers and sausage. That's basically.
And you can add ketchup or barbecue sauce with it.
That's whatever your choice is inside, like when you roll it, wrap it. Okay, that's really good. And then we have here, we have John Victor, crab
dip or
bread, okay. And it's really very good. I can understand why you never get any after the card club. The card club eats it all. And here we have Bill. Bill, this is beautiful. Look at this. All the great, is that mine?
Sure.
That's my serving.
It's all yours.
That's my serving. We'll get the rest. And again, it just looks beautiful in the dish and in the pot, and it's just really great here.
Thank you.
think up these things more often, right? And then here we have Jeff, and Jeff has his sundae, which is really quite a clever way to serve that. But you could serve it in a bowl if you're
Right.
not. If you don't have the dishes, you can still try
I
it.
have a nice Sunday bowl.
Yeah.
A
And
regular bowl is like,
and so it's really very pretty and very tasty, I'm sure. I haven't tasted it yet, but I will. And then here we have the seafood Newburgh stuff. This is the stuff that I'm going to taste this one. It's very hard with. Oops. Oops.
Oh,
Not meant to do that. Here's a fork. Can I have that fork? I'm sorry about that, but I'm known to be a klutz in life anyway. This is terrible. You don't want any of this. Don't eat any of this after the show.
my family won't feel bad if you don't eat any of it.
But, so with that one, and is that it? Is that 6 of us? Oh, we have Jeff's dessert, which is his strawberry.
crustless cheesecake.
And what it is, it's another one of the Atkins recipes, the low carbohydrate recipes. It looks so simple. It has to be lots of calories and lots of fat and lots of everything.
But no carbohydrates.
But it's low carbohydrates. So,
Don't forget Tony's biscotti
yes.
in the back.
So we have everything for you to try. We hope you stay and try. The library is open till 5 o'clock. Then you got to go. But so we do well. I'm so glad you all came today, and I look forward to seeing you all at another time. It's not out yet. If you're not on the mailing list and you want to be on the mailing list, please, I'll have paper out there to do that. We will have copies of my cookbook if you'd like to have that in the back. They're $12 a piece. And we're going to go from there. I think it's time that we just got to go eat, you know. We're not going to, bon appetit, as Julia would say, and good cooking and good eating. Bye now.